they're going to be looking for a torch or a fairy water, because one of the things that is a default setting in this randomizer is going to be using those to damage enemies by throwing them. And here we go. We have started getting now the instructions, being told to go take out the Dragon Lord, retrieve the Orb of Light to be able to restore peace to the kingdom. The first has a dragon scale. Tristal does remember to immediately equip it. Herb for the second chest. Third chest is going to be some gold.
Yep, and just in case anybody is unfamiliar with any of the sprites on screen, Apex Corvid is Tov, the dog from Dragon Warrior 4. Centroid is the Princess Moonbrook from Dragon Warrior 2. And Tristal and Nim are both female heroes. I believe that is the Dragon Warrior 4 hero sprite. It's either 3 or 4.
Fairy Flute, Cursed Belt. We do have Gold Glitch activated. Wings, Herb. No Fairy Water. We do get a torch. Looks like Nim is going to be checking out the basement. Yeah, everyone is going to be checking out the basement here, except apparently Centroid is going to check the overworld. Not too bad of a start out here. It's not a Swamp Seed, as we had feared it might be with that hit point total.
So now we're just looks like we start the grind. We're looking now. This is very fast experience, so we're looking for 3 HP for the first level. There did seem to be slimes around, and it looks like Centroid's going to try to kill this magician with a torch. Doesn't get it. Question is gets the Kai no Ichigeki, but does not take out the magician.
Meanwhile, Tristal going to be doing a gold grind before he remembered that we've got randomized shop prices, but still picked up a good 5,000 plus gold. I wonder if he's going to remember to save it.
But Centroid does manage to get to level 2. Rather unimpressive level, but the Spell of Hurt.
The Spell of Hurt and the 5 extra strength is actually quite valuable. You just doubled your strength in one shot there, letting them at least do a little bit of damage to some critters.
Yeah, and as we can see, it looks like Magidrakes are around the castle, so that Hurt spell will be great for Magidrakes.
Nim is going to reset completely. He's going to switch up his stats to a lowercase t.
That's what he started with.
I wonder why he deleted and started over fresh.
Maybe he wanted to gold grind, possibly. I don't know. We'll have to ask him in post race.
Either gold grind or torch grind.
Oh,
because remember, you got the torch in the armory. You can torch grind, and that's a consistent 7 to 9 damage that you're doing to enemies. That can one shot a scorpion. That can one shot your drakeys, your slimes, even a ghost. So that's some early experience for an early levels. But Centroid, meanwhile, is all the way up to level 4. Hurt, stop, and repel, but only 12 MP, so that's at least a couple of hurts on tap. Only 15 strength, but 43 hit points is pretty impressive already.
Magic Friends asks in chat, is Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior the same game? Essentially, yes, Magic Friends. Dragon Quest is the name of the series that debuted in Japan, but coming over to the States, Nintendo of America rebranded it as Dragon Warrior here in the States for games 1 through 4.
Yeah, fun fact, there was already a game franchise in the United States called Dragon Quest. It was a very not well-known franchise. It didn't really go anywhere, but because they had that name, Nintendo had to go ahead and rebrand it as Dragon Warrior until they could get that brand back to be able to rebrand everything in the United States. Yeah, Dragon Quest was already a trademark PNP RPG, so there was already a game franchise trademarked Dragon Quest, so they had to go with Dragon Warrior instead for the NES era.
Oh, and our wonderful tracker Camion, one of our admins, Lord of the Synth, informing me that Dragon Warrior 7 was also Warrior 7 over here in the States. I actually did not know that. Today I learned. So while our strength has improved some, you can kind of take a look at Centroid 41 stats up in the upper right-hand corner. Level 5, still only 19 strength. That is definitely not what you want to be seeing at level 5 so far, only 19 strength. That's some bad times.
Yeah, and so, like the saying goes, when in doubt, grind it out. Looks like everybody's sticking pretty close to home, taking out these lower tier enemies fairly reliably here. The scorpions, the magicians, these kind of things, trying to get up to a level where they can get some decent stats and be able to afford to go out into the world and explore a bit more aggressively.
Speaking of being able to explore a little bit more aggressively, level 6 brings us heal more. So that is probably, the key, the chime, if you will, to be like, okay, maybe time to get some exploration done. We've got 60 HP. We've got 4 casts of heal more. Let's, maybe stretch our legs a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. With Heal More on tap now, you definitely have the healing potential to risk going out into the world a little bit more, and that is exactly what Centroid is doing. Centroid sees this Heal More and goes, "Okay, that's it. I'm going. I've got to find some stuff."
Yep, and I think we'll probably see that repeated with each of their other runners here. We'll see them find level 6 and be like, okay, time to stretch our legs some. Question is, once they get a little bit outside of zone 0 here, what are we going to find? Are we going to go basically right into Sherlock level enemies, or are we going to find a nice skeleton here, which is a really nice early? Never mind.
Oh my, sleep. That's one skill you don't want to see on these enemies. Does manage to actually survive it though, so not. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's annoying, but he's actually surviving this fairly well, and apparently he's damage broken it. It's only doing 1 damage to him.
Well, they have gotten some real nice agility gains in the first 6 levels, so it wouldn't surprise me if a skeleton is agility broken.
So it takes a while, but it's not particularly dangerous with almost 60 hit points, and it's doing like 1 to 3 damage a pop.
And we have Apex now getting level 6, and Apex will pick up the Heal More spell.
Playing around with the skeleton will give Centroid a lot of experience relative to what they were taking down. However, the time it's taking because of all of these sleeps, taking several turns to wake up, is taking a lot of time, and is that Centroid's early lead is starting to slip away.
And we have Niminva picking up level 6 and the Heal More spell, and Tristal, as long as Tristal can take out this magician, he will also be at level 6. All right, so we do have Apex stretching his legs a little bit, letting Tov out for a little bit of a run, and finds an Axe Knight, but it does manage to get away. Having 55 agility will enable you to run from some of these top upper tier enemies, but the Star Wyvern's like, yeah, no, back with ye.
And Centroid just ran into a golem and ran away from it on the first turn. Wizard does a back attack and has been blocking him and takes Centroid back home. So we do definitely have some very dangerous enemies not too far from the castle.
Yeah, but you can't wait to get the Hurt More spell with these guys. With some Axe Knights around, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, Axe Knight, Star Wyverns, excellent targets for a Hurt More spell. They have enough MP to be able to do it consistently, but these golems are another matter and are just on the prowl. Took down Tristal there. We just see the Freebie Cave and Charlock sighting, I believe, on Centroid's thing. Some gold there. So there is what's called a ghetto grind, where, you leave, you come back, you can get more. Oh, that's in the basement. Gotcha. So even if you don't, you not only have the potential for a fast gold grind if you can set up the chests, but you also have a slower ghetto grind there because you could just go in, go out, go in, go out, and and collect it that way. It's slower, but if you've got something that only costs a couple grand, it can be worth it.
And on Nim's side here, we do have our first town sighting. We don't know what it is yet because, random encounters have kind of slowed Niminva's progress in there. But, let's see, what town do we have here? Do we have, the ever popular, oh, look, first town you find is Hawk's Nest, which is never fun. What do we got here? We have, go in the town, Nim. Thank you.
Rimildar, normally the place you go to find keys. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, you don't need any keys. But there is this one chest he will be checking out, and we'll be going ahead and picking up a cursed belt. Now, the thing about the cursed belts is there are 3 potential search tiles that exist, or the one in Hawk's Nest, the one in the Overworld, and the one in Cole. And the number of belts directly correlates to the number of them that you see. And got a very inexpensive flame sword for 386. Large shield is only 187. These are some really, really good purchases.
Though that flame sword purchase is going to be rendered kind of moot at some point because level 7 has hurt more.
It'll still be useful to clean things up, but yes, it does kind of take the sting out of that amazing purchase. But with just a little bit more gold, he can go ahead, now that he's got that flame sword, he's actually able to take on these metal scorpions and these mid-tier enemies more consistently for better experience gains, and is going to be grinding around here trying to get the money for that large shield.
Yeah, this is a good play here on Nim because you definitely want that large shield. And the half plate was fairly cheap too. I believe the half plate was only a couple hundred, so he might even grind up for a half plate and the large shield. Really get some good defense here.
And now Nim sees that he's got the Hurt More spell on tap as well, so I'm sure that's going to make him feel a little bit better about himself.
Now, all of our runners are fairly closely packed together experience-wise. I mean, Crystal may be a little bit behind, being, 50 behind the rest of the gang, but that's, at this point in time, that is very much negligible. Speaking of negligible, this Axe Knight is about to be rendered negligible with the Hurtmore spell.
Yeah, that gives Centroid 130 experience points and level 8. If you can start pounding out those Axe Knights with these Hurtmore spells, you could really get a commanding experience lead pretty early. Nim, on the other hand, finds Cole and the silver harp on the search tile.
Indeed, the town of Cole being just north of the town of... The heck did we just see? My brain just all of a sudden shut down. Rimildar. Ha!
So Nim, getting really fortunate with his exploration, has found an area. Meanwhile, Centroid finds another town, I think in a very different area, so we will see what that town is in a second, if he can get away from that Droll Magi. And that is the town of Hawk's Nest. Not exactly the place you want to go on 1 MP.
Nope, but he does look like he is going to check, if he can get there, he's going to check the spike tile just to see what's there, to see if he wants to come back here with some MP, or if this is something where he's going to need that cheap flame sword.
Meanwhile, wolves have hurt more.
Ow. And we do have Apex Corvid finding Hawk's Nest with some resources here. So let's see if Apex can get to the spike tile and see what might be here, see if it's hurt moreable, or if it's going to send him right back. And we have Stone Man.
He's a stone man. So, yeah, not exactly the best option in the world, but not the worst either. The problem is, without any armor whatsoever, the stone man, well, it hits like a rock.
And the stone men have sleep, so that makes them even less fun. Stone Man with sleep and no stop spell, you ain't gonna win that one much, especially at this point in time.
Exactly. So, good information to have, though, for Corvid, and not just the fact that it is a Stone Man, but the fact that Stone Men have sleep and can be very dangerous is information that Apex now has dearly paid for and can take forward, so he knows not to play around with them.
Oh, I just missed the fact that all of our runners have stop spell. Ha!
He may decide to go back and go, you know what, stop.
So it looks like we have Apex getting to level 9. I believe joining... No, yeah, Apex getting to level 9. Trystal just got to level 8 and has found what looks to be the Swamp Cave. Swamp North, to be precise.
And runs into an armored knight, or as we affectionately refer to him in the community, the AK-47, due to how hard it hits. Meanwhile, Nim has just been wandering around here and taking out a lot of opportunity fights, these raids, some axe knights, and has just been racking up the experience.
I believe this was not only an experience grind, but this was probably also a bit of a gold grind to get a little bit of defense behind him. You know, like that cheap half plate that's right there for 216. Or not.
Well, remember, Rimildar had that large shield for a couple hundred, so he's probably looking at that.
Well, he'll probably be, I mean, with the gold he has right now, I'm pretty sure he can get both.
True. Yeah, it looks like he's heading back towards Rimildar right now. He just needed to stop at the inn because he was out of magic.
We have Apex in the Swamp Cave. Nope, not anymore. He's not in the Swamp Cave. Armored Knight sends him back to start.
Yeah, Armored Knight casting Axmore. Yeah, and yes, Nim does pick up the half plate. Nim does pick up the large shield. Nim is kitted out pretty decently.
Yep, this is certainly... All right, let's see what else is around. Time. Level 9, 90 HP at level 9, which is fantastic. Of course, at level 9, typically speaking, you don't like your MP higher than your strength, which is what our runners are dealing with here at level 9, having only 44 MP and only 43 HP. Now, those are never fun things to have.
Yeah, this is definitely starting to smell like a death necklace seed.
And we do have Trystal finding the Stone Man. Hits one hurt more. Now, it has not seen sleep yet, so is he going to hit the second? Hits the second hurt more. Does not take out the Stone Man. There goes the
and
sleep,
there's the sleep.
There goes oh, wait, maybe. Can Trystal go for 3 for 3? Nope.
No. We'll get sent back home, unfortunately. Centroid taking out a knight with a hurt more.
Wow, look at the MP at level 10. Woo, I believe that was a 29 MP gain. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. What you didn't see, however, was much in the way of strength.
So the further we dig into this seed here, it's certainly looking like strength is going to be the limiting factor here. We do have Nim finding the grave. Let's see what's in the grave. Now, I do believe there was a town right outside the grave too, but Nim deciding to at least dive the top 3 chests here.
Apex finding Rimildar, gonna be able to make some purchases of his own, and in these top things, you have some gold. You have the fairy water, less useful now, but okay, and the death necklace, which is probably going to be important given the strength and HP totals that we've seen so far.
Yep, and Nim did see the town, so he was just checking the first 3, getting out of there, and going to head over to this town. So this is either going to be Breckenary, Cantlin, or Darenham, one of the 3. And this is Darenham.
You do have 3 chests in the back, plus that staircase to who knows where.
That full plate armor even cheaper than half plate.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, indeed. Still no silver shield yet, though.
Well, we haven't found Cantlin yet. Cantlin does have 3 separate shops, so that's going to be your most likely location for it.
And hey, you never know. Breckenary might actually be useful for once. Nim having to fight the worst boss of them all, the NPC boss, in order to get to the inn. We do have Tristal in coal and Apex now in coal, about to pick up his silver harp.
Yep. Now, we've only seen one of the 3 key items we're going to need to be able to progress. We also haven't found Jerk or Staff Cave yet.
Oh, there's the token
in the back of Garanham.
So, for those of you that may be joining us for the first time, the Jerk Cave is the Rainbow Drop Cave is what we call the Jerk Cave. Why do we call him the Jerk? Because if you don't have Erdrick's token, he will kick you out. Angel asks if we see Mountain. Yes, we have Angel right now.
Yep, Nim is actually in Mountain at the moment. Took down an Armored Knight for 172 experience points. Quite valuable. And now here's a Wolf Lord. Looks like he's trying to run. Wolf Lords do have Hurt More, which can be painful. He's decided to, return fire and one-shot the thing for a cool 52 XP.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
And that's a level 22 strength!
That there's some strength. There's some strength right there.
Yep, that was exactly what these runners were going to be hoping for right there.
Something else a little that we haven't really talked about at all. Our runner's agility is actually pretty darn high too. So really, their stats are now that they're at level 11, their stats are progressing really nicely.
Yeah, here we are just over 20 minutes into this seed, and we are already seeing some almost okay stats for the final fight. Now he's in the second level of Swamp Cave. The chest right here, just some gold. He's going to go ahead and check these 2 up here, and that's going to be a Fighter's Ring, which is an extra 2, and remembers to put it on, good job, and an herb, and let's see what this final chest will be.
Tristal right behind Nim in finding Garanham, picks up a full plate armor, and Apex right behind them. We have Centroid trying to take out the Stone Man, but the Stone Man's like, nope.
Just some gold at the end of Swamp Cave. Nothing too valuable there. But the Fighter's Ring, is an extra couple of attack points, which is not nothing. He's already equipped it, so he didn't forget to do that. That's a common mistake. You get a Dragon Scale, a Fighter's Ring. You need to remember to equip it, even though you can sell it later on and keep the stats. You need to remember to do that equip.
Yeah, so now the question becomes, especially for Nim here, who has dipped into the grave already and gotten the first 3, do you now go into the grave, into the bottom, knowing that you still need Erdrick's sword, Erdrick's armor, and the
Stones of Sunlight.
Right, and the stones, or do you bank on them being in Hawksness, on the overworld, or possibly in the Tablet Cave? And it looks like the answer to this question is he's going back into the grave.
Well, first he's going to take out that Axe Knight for a cool 130 experience points. Yeah, it looks like he is going to dive bottom of grave just to make sure. And I don't blame him. You've got these 2 chests that are down there. You're already here. You might as well take them off your checkbox, because if you go over and you don't find it elsewhere, you're just going to have to come back anyway. It's going to be a bigger time sink than just diving it here while you've got it.
And we do have Centroid finding the town of Cantlin. So we're going to get our 3 shop checks here, as well as a check on the coordinates, I imagine, and a dirt cheap silver shield.
There we go. But yeah, also the other thing is, having dove Mountain Cave and seen nothing there, the number of chests that are still out there have dwindled rapidly. So there are a pair of chests down here that he wants to check. The first one being Wings.
Move, merchant, get out the way. Get out the way, merchant, get out the way.
Yes, NPC pathing, the true final boss.
And a not quite so cheap magic armor. So, but, Centroid does find the big sail here with the silver shield and is about to check the coordinates.
Meanwhile, final chest at bottom of grave is the Stones of Sunlight. This did pay off for Nim. It is all the way at the bottom.
Thou must go and fight. So we have nothing on the overworld, which means we do in fact have something in Hawksness because we have found 2 cursed belts. So Hawksness is something, and it's going to be one of the Erdrick's pieces. It's either going to be the armor or it's going to be the sword.
Correct, because we've got all 3 items and the death necklace already. And the fairy flute as well.
Yep.
But yeah, very inexpensive silver shield available in Cantlin as well, which is equally valuable. And if you look at these stats, if you're new to the randomizers and you're trying to wonder what these colors mean on their stats, and orange means you're getting close to where you want to be for the final fight with the Dragon Lord. Maybe not exactly where you want to be, but close enough that if something else is really good, then you might be able to do it anyway. And you'll notice the agility is in green, so you're good to go there. The hit points are in orange. It's almost where you want it to be. You really want to have at least a 97 in hit points to be able to take on the Dragon Lord if you can at all help it.
We just missed a massive level 12. Massive.
Oh, wow.
20-0-20-11.
Wow, 20 attack, 20 hit points. That is amazing. And 11 magic points is just an amazing level. You'll notice how many more of these stats suddenly are green. Hit points are green, strength is now green. Your MP is a little low, but already has 121 attack power. This is huge. And that's without having Erdrick's sword. 91, once he gets his Erdrick's sword, I mean, those could be ghost stats, even with only 11 heal mores in the tank.
Also what? So you add 12, right? From the Flame Sword to Erdrick's sword, you add 12, so that would make their attack 133? 132. 132, I think. So 132 means you're doing 8 to 16 damage. Right, so average of 12, you need about 13 attacks. You're close. It's close.
Yeah, it would be kind of a risk, but definitely possible if you rolled well or if RNG blessed you without any difficulties. But, they still have a lot of things to find. They still need to find the Jerk. They still need to find the Staff Cave. They haven't found either one of those. They still need their equipment. So there's still some time here to get some more stats. Depending on how things turn out, at 115 hit points already at level 12, this could very much turn into a situation where, Centroid picked up something in the back of Garenham there. This could very much turn into a Death Necklace seed where they put that on. It's an extra 10 attack power, but it cuts your max HP by a quarter. So you really want to have over 133 HP before you do that to make sure you can still survive 2 max strength DL2 breaths and not die.
And there's one other thing we're missing, Sneaky. Yeah, we're missing one other thing that's kind of important to beat the game.
Well, yes, the armor.
No, the place we beat the game.
Oh, I think we did see a Charlock sighting.
Really? Who saw Charlock? I have not yet. My attention must have been drawn elsewhere.
I thought I saw the corner of Charlock while somebody was going into a town.
Maybe.
I might have been mistaken. It might have been something else. Tristal here is going to get the news to go fight.
Oh, look. Brackenary.
Home of the 6 Gold Inn. We'll keep a torch out for you.
Okay, and this is going to be one of our trade-in caves here. And it would be nice if it was the staff trade-in, and it is.
Meanwhile, Apex now going after this Stone Man, having some more gear, some more levels, some more hit points under his belt, and will be picking up this thing. Oh, does get slept, unfortunately. But now he's got enough defense, he's not taking nearly as much damage as he used to. He's got him some heal mores. He can deal with this.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't stay asleep too long.
Well, with 115 hit points, he can still end up sleeping for a while. And by a while, I mean a maximum sleep duration.
Chat pointing out that Sharlock is seen on somebody's screen. It was on Nim's screen. Okay. South of the Staff Cave. There we go. So south of the Staff Cave is Sharlock. So we've seen everything we need to see. Well, as far as that goes. We still need the Rainbow Drop Cave.
Continuing on exploring, he is starting to run out of places to explore. There's the cave. That almost has to be Jerk right there. I think that's the only cave we haven't found yet.
I think that's the Staff Cave. I think he just kind of did a big circle.
It is Erdrick's armor under that Stone Man that Apex finally did defeat, which is an enormous pickup for Apex. Oh, that is Staff Cave. Okay, my apologies.
I think that was a big level 13, too. I'm going to have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that may have been double-digit strength and MP again. When the stats cycle around, we'll see for certain, but I know it was 20 MP.
Tristal now finding Staff Cave.
One strength. Okay.
Yeah, one strength, but even so, it's almost free right now. I mean, that's 11 to 5?
Yeah, that's 5 to 11, so you'd be doing an average of 8. So you would need, 18 to 20 attacks? And how many? Not quite there yet, but with the sword and armor, that's probably go.
Yeah, I mean, you could try to do some fairy water strats with that, see if that doesn't work out for you, but yeah.
All right, so right now it is the Jerk, the Rainbow Drop Cave that is eluding all 4 runners. We do have Tristal stumbling into Sharlock here. So the good news about Sharlock is that Breckenary is fairly close. So you do have a nice waypoint there. To use an in, cast a repel, and the repel should take you most of the way through Sharlock.
Yeah, I don't know if that Armored Knight was the spike tile in Swamp Cave or if it was just a random encounter in Swamp Cave, but we know that Stone Man is not a very attractive grind. Not that they're going to need to be doing a lot of grinding, per se, but if he's feeling like he needs just a little bit more to get that extra little oomph going, then definitely that Breckenary being right here gives him an opportunity to maybe grind out that extra level he needs to feel comfortable.
So just kind of looking at the experience levels of our runners, Nimenva has opened up about a 600 experience point lead over Apex and Centroid, and Tristal's 500 back of that. So Nim definitely does have a bit of an experience point lead here.
And is checking out the swamp? No, he's just leaving Swamp and going to Swamp South. And there's the cave.
There's the Rainbow Drop right on the other side of the Swamp Cave.
I wonder if he's going to check the spike tile or if he's just going to go to Sharlock. I mean, those are pretty free stats. I mean,
well, but he doesn't have the sword, and he has to go back to Hawksness for the armor.
True, he does have to go back to Hawksness for the armor. The sword, I'm betting, is actually in Sharlock Armory at this point.
Well, the sword. Well, it's either. Oh, wouldn't that be something if the game put the sword in the tablet cave, which we have not yet seen?
I think he just saw it. I thought I saw a cave on Nim's screen. There it is. And that is the tablet cave, so we will see shortly.
If this is the sword, this gives Niminva a tremendous advantage over the other three runners. Because the other three, I would think, a lot of them are just going to be like, okay, you know what? We're just going to go to Sherlock here instead of looking for the one chest, and it's gold.
Yeah, it's just gold, so the sword is definitely in Sherlock now.
And we do have Centroid now reaching the bottom of the grave where we know the Stones of Sunlight to be.
Tristal has already gone down there. Apex still needs to dive grave, so...
So I'm going to imagine that Nim's probably going to head back to Breckenary, stock up, and probably do a Sherlock dive to get the sword, and then use the sword to go beat up a stone man.
Actually, depending on his resources, if he can manage to pick it up without having to blow a heal more, I could see him grabbing the sword and going after the Dragon Lord in one shot since it's a short Sherlock.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the armor.
Oh, right. He does need to hit up Hawks first, doesn't he?
Yeah, that minor difficulty there. For those of you that might not be familiar, Erdrick's armor is one of the most overpowered armors pretty much in NES history. And the big thing why it's pretty much mandatory in these, in Dragon Warrior period, is the fact that it cuts the damage fire breath of the Dragon Lord's fire breath from the 60s and 70s to the mid 40s. So your HP necessary to beat the Dragon Lord is far reduced with the Erdrick's armor. Now, of course, it gives other benefits like 1 HP per step, stop spell resistance, hurt more resistance somewhat as far as damage reduction. But it really is necessary to beat the game to decrease the amount that Dragon Lord's breath hurts.
Yeah, you really want that armor for a max Dragon Lord 2 breath of 48 damage instead of, 72?
Oh, and at level 13, apparently we also get the spell of sleep. So, nope, well, Stone Man's like, yeah, I can do that too, buddy.
Yeah, man, it's fairly resistant to this sleep here. Normally, Stone Men are a 1 out of 16.
Oh, Tristal goes left instead of right off of the Swamp Cave entrance and missed the Rainbow Drop Cave.
Oh, no.
And Tristal getting his level 13.
Oh, apparently he has already got his drop.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
There we go. Nim's got his armor. Now he just needs to dive Sherlock to get the sword and claim his victory.
If I would imagine now he's going to head straight over to Breckenary, use that as a waypoint, and then try to get the sword and win the game all in one shot. With these stats, it should be relatively straightforward to do as long as you can get to the Dragon Lord without using up too many heal mores. Now, that said, what haven't we seen in this seed? We haven't seen a red dragon. We haven't seen a blue dragon. We haven't seen a green dragon. We know stone men have sleep. So there is a lot of danger left to lurk in Sherlock. Now, short Sherlock does make it a little less daunting, but you never know what can be in there.
Yeah, we also haven't seen what golems do because everybody has managed to run away from them on first turn, and we haven't seen what jerkbirds can do either.
This is very true. Jerkbirds, of course, being star wyverns.
Yes. Of course, Star Wyverns are one-shottable with a Hurtmore, but if you're trying to dive for the Dragon Lord, you don't want to be blowing your MP like that. But then again, you know, Repel does now work in this randomizer in dungeons and in Charlock, so you repel up before hitting Charlock, and you never get a chance to see any jerk birds.
Because their defense power is 93. All right, so let's see. Where is the sword going to be? Is it going to be in vanilla? Is it going to be in the vanilla location, or is it going to be here in the treasury?
In the pyramid. We have gold. We have torch. We have fairy water. We have torch. We have Erdrick sword. There it is.
The $250 chest for those of you that are familiar with $10,000 pyramid. Oh, that's the $300. My bad, $300. All right, so Niminva is going to probably go to beat the Dragon Lord here at level 13, and Crystal right on his heels.
And we are only 40 minutes into this match, and we are already looking at a couple of very valid attempts here. Golem, however, is blocking the Dragon Lord. Fortunately, they do have that very flute.
Crystal being treated rather rudely by this armored knight here. I believe this is his third run fail, and is probably going to have to... Oh, just gets away from it.
Blowing a couple of precious herbs, and then going to try and heal walk the rest of it off, running from this red dragon on the first attempt. Meanwhile, Nim is taking on this golem, and Acacia Dorigeki! 105 damage, taking out that golem. Let's do this. Yeah, at 111 MP at a 34 attack power, that's gonna be 17 to 8. Yeah, he's got this in the bag.
I mean, barring a miss menu, this should be pretty free, but you never know what can happen.
Oof, couple of Hurtmores there on the entrance, though. Unfortunately, only has a max HP of 119, not high enough really to risk the Death Necklace, but then again, with these stats, doesn't really need it.
No, and with 119, at least you should be able to get a double here and there, so it should make the fight go even that much quicker, unless, of course, Dragon Lord decides to be, particularly breath-happy.
Well, he certainly is Hurtmore happy. He blew all of his herbs trying to get a better starting point for the second one. With a back attack and a 46 flame breath, he will have to start off with a heal more.
And while we have Nim whittling down Dragon Lord 2, we have Trystal just about to approach the Dragon Lord, and I do believe we have Apex Corvid on his approach to Sherlock Castle. And we have Centroid going after the Stone Man for his armor.
Did manage to land a stop spell, so those sleeve spells are basically free turns for him now, so that should be a free fight for him. Whoa, Nim swung on a 43 and lived to tell the tale. I'm not sure if that was a miss menu or just a risky maneuver, but he did get the double squeezed in there.
We have Trystal also in the Dragon Lord 2 fight. Now, just getting there, so he is a bit behind Niminva, but this is going to be a close finish between these two runners, probably within a minute of each other, barring the miss menu.
Centroid looks like he's gonna settle in for a grind on this Stone Man.
And we have Apex Corvid entering Sherlock Castle.
So we have 3 out of our 4 runners in Sherlock pretty much on their final dive at the same time. This is definitely a sub-hour seed, probably for all 4 runners.
Right now, I believe Centroid, according to our tracker, Centroid does not yet have the silver harp. That might be a problem.
The harp was in coal. I guess he never found coal.
Yeah. Although he is on the right path toward coal now.
And break out your GGs! Nim has come in first place.
Indeed. We're just waiting on the official in SRL. But we do have Tristel here finishing up his Dragon Lord 2 fight. And we have Apex Corvid here going into Charlock. And there it is. Niminva has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 45 minutes and 50 seconds. Everybody get your GGs out. Tristel has now slain the Dragon Lord.
With less than a minute between them. Meanwhile, Apex rounding the corner, taking out the Golem bodyguard for the Dragon Lord, and will probably also shortly be completing his roundup.
Tristel, second place, official SRL time 46:27, a mere 37 seconds behind Niminva. One of our closest races of Week 1. GG Tristel.
Well run for both players. That was nuts. And of course, we've got Apex Corvid now trying for the Dragon Lord 1, who is going to be giving him the hurt more business, but he just doesn't care. He's just going to go, let's just do this.
Apex Corvid on his way to a sub 50 as well, barring a miss menu. And thank you very much for the raid, Tristel MTG. We really appreciate it. Well played, GG.
We'll see if we can't get the runners in here after they take care of a couple of things. Centroid running into Tablet Cave and is going to be checking this chest and getting some unfortunate news. Yeah, level 14 did give a hit point boost up to 128. Not quite where I would feel comfortable putting on the Death Necklace, but I could see a case being made for it.
And we are now joined by both our winner, Niminva, and our second place finisher, Tristel. GG, gentlemen. Very well done.
Thank you very much. And GG, Tristel.
Yeah, GG, well done.
Yeah, it was like 30 seconds between the two of you. It was a really close matchup.
And so what are your thoughts on the C? This one was a pretty quick one, huh? As Apex finishes up his fight. This was pretty quick seed. We do have a question though for Nim. Swinging on 43.
I started to fall asleep and I swung on 43.
Well, it worked out for you. So all's well that ends well.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting seed. I started off and I forgot to go back up into the throne room to set up a kind of grind. So then I reset and started again. And then everything was pretty much just walked in order.
Yeah, I actually think that early grind that reset to be able to do the grind for the torches actually did kind of help you score some early kills and get going. But your big thing was you were able to get the exploration advantage early on. You found Rimildar first and coal first. And unfortunately, Centroid is only just now finding coal and the silver harp. And welcome, Apex Corvid as well. GG to you as well. This has just been a really, really close race.
Yeah, I bet. That one was pretty jetty, wasn't it?
There was less than 30 seconds between Tristal and Nim.
I believe it. I think the big thing on this one is whether you full dive grave on your first playthrough or not.
I didn't have the resources to full dive grave my first time in, so I just did the quick 3, went to the town, did mountain, then went back to grave and did the bottom 2.
I know Centroid did that. Tristal, did you get it done in one dive, or did you do the top 3 town and then the bottom 2?
No, I got it all done in one. I actually, because I could see Garenham right near it, I went to the town first after just stepping in to verify that it was Garen's grave, and then I actually completed mountain before I did Garen's grave.
Yeah, once you realized that mountain was pretty much empty, you had almost have to have something in grave.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't figured out Hawksness or the overworld search spot at that point, I don't think. So, it wasn't guaranteed for me by any means, but certainly worth searching without having sword or armor at that point.
Right. And I mean, that, what about that stone man?
I was so close on the first try. That would have definitely made the difference if I could have got the armor right away. That would have been so nice.
Yeah, 2 successful Hurtmores, and it was barely alive, but it resisted the third one and sent you home.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Something that we were mentioning up here in the booth was, you were getting to level 7, 8, and 9, and we're like, good God, their strength is absolutely abysmal. Settle in, everybody. We could be going for a while until they get their strength, and then you get like 45 strength in 2 levels, and you pretty much are ready to go as soon as you get the sword. That must have felt good to get those real high strength levels there right in a row.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice that it all kind of lined up right at the end, coinciding with getting the rainbow drop. You were all ready to go pretty much. I had to assume the sword was in Charlock at 13. I don't believe I had found Tablet Cave ever, so that was still that large potentially for the 12.5% jinx. But other than that, it was pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah.
The Tablet Cave was on the same continent as the Rainbow Drop Cave. It was just on the left-hand side of the bridge, a little south of where the Rainbow Drop Cave was.
Okay, I actually walked around a little bit to try and find it just in case, but I guess I'm better off not having done that.
Yeah, but I mean, even so, you're looking at what, 3.5 minutes between the first and third place.
Yeah, that's I've done a few practice races, and these are always super close with these ultra fast flags. There's not a lot of room for error.
No.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that is one thing about these Zoom seeds is little things can be the big difference in these kind of races. Just going one direction instead of another direction can be all the difference between first and even third or fourth place.
Yep, and we're seeing that kind of play out here with Centroid. He never went north of Rimildar, never found coal, and as a result, basically full cleared the map looking for the silver harp, and well, it was kind of sitting in coal all along. Centroid now finally getting into Sherlock. He's certainly on pace to sub-hour the seed, which is normally a really good time, but unfortunately his delay in finding the harp is going to unfortunately send him into 4th place in this race.
Yeah, and that's just, I mean, part of that is your strategies in how you do your exploration. Do you want to check that area? Okay, it looks like it could be a dead end, or it could be one of those stupid one tile bridges that you always miss. What's it going to be? Do I spend the extra time to go check it, or do I just keep going? Meanwhile, this Armor Knight just not letting Centroid go. He's down to 4 hit points. Will have to blow a heal more. Fortunately, he is level 14, so he has an extra heal more to blow. But still, 6x run fail feels bad, man. No!
7.
8!
8. 8x run fail. I can only imagine what Beta Strip is saying in chat about that one.
Yeah, always the post combat. Really, isn't my agility 50-50 to run from this? Yep. Well, thanks DWR.
Yeah, well, agility is sometimes just a number.
Yeah, indeed. And something that Rye Guy mentioned yesterday in commentary that I wholeheartedly agree with, this Dragon Warrior Randomizer sometimes has a very complicated relationship with 50-50.
Yeah, I lost quite a few 50-50s on some sleep rolls too. I had a fail stop spell on Stone Man, sleep for 4 turns, heal more because I'm too low and I don't want to fail a stop spell, get slept for 5 turns, then finally kill the Stone Man. So
Yes.
you could almost say that actually made the difference too between first and second.
Centroid having to clear the entire armory in Charlock, it was the last chest he opened for the sword.
And meanwhile, his encounter rate it looks right now like double what any of our other runners saw in Charlock. And seeing, I'm pretty sure Tristal, Nim, and Apex, I mean, I think you guys maybe saw 3 red dragons total on that floor, and Centroid has just run from his 4th red dragon.
And there's another armored knight giving him the business end of the axe there. I mean, he's just running into things like axe knight, 2 more steps, axe knight. I mean, like, wow.
Geez, well, when it rains, it pours, huh?
I know
And
it
here's
might.
another red dragon with a preemptive attack and block and oof.
I know my dive. I had 1 red dragon and 2 armored knights, and I ran from all of them in 1 run.
And the fairy water just now running out. And here's his golem fight.
Apex, haven't heard from you much in this interview. What'd you think of the seed?
It was a really fun one. It really depended on how you approached Grave. Beyond that, I mean, you had to cover 2/3 of the map anyways, just to hit stuff. So overworld map exploration, I mean, the sequence you did it in would matter. It's just when you came across that Grave and whether you made the decision to top 3 or deep dive seems to be the big one here. It was a slow start, hurt more, and then strength came late. So it was fun. It was breezy.
Centroid, meanwhile, checking his stats, probably trying to see if he has Death Necklace stats or not. And here he goes with the Dragon Lord, is not going to go ahead and opt for the Death Necklace. I don't blame him. Has gotten double stop spells, so he's going to actually be going into this phase 2 with 120 hit points. Not bad.
Hey, and actually gets the first attack against Dragon Lord. Go figure, 87 agility, and you can get the first attack. How about that?
But this should be a fairly free fight for him, given he got that first hit off everything else. He will be going ahead and using these fairy waters for a little bit extra damage.
So Nim getting the 5 points here in the first race. How do you feel about that?
Well, I didn't think I was going to, but I'm glad I did. I thought with only getting 1 hour of sleep that I didn't really have much of a chance.
Well, hey, maybe you need to get 1 hour sleep before a race more often.
I mean, now you can quite legitimately say, hey, man, I can practically do this in my sleep.
Yeah, but that leads me to swinging at 43.
True.
I mean, I expected really good competition in this race, and I got it.
Yeah, no surprise that the four of you really did so well in this race. I mean, the four of you are all veteran racers of this game, so we really, I mean, even going in right at the beginning, we expected a pretty darn exciting close seed, just because all four of you are just so veteran, frankly, so good at the game. So, oh geez. Centroid finishing out the Dragon Lord with 7 heal Mars to spare.
Sounds like he's ready for DL3.
Is that the one with heal all?
I believe
Oh
you
no,
might
that
be
would
right.
be that would be Dragon Quest 2 is when
Malroth.
we run into heal all.
Oh, God, that was such a troll boss for Malroth for Dragon Warrior 2. Ugh. But meanwhile, we do have Centroid finishing up with an official SRL time of 1 hour and 54 seconds.
Just barely made it over the 1 hour mark, unfortunately. But given when he finally found Cole, I mean, sometimes you win sometimes you just go the wrong direction. It was not anything that he did that was a bad decision. It was just the direction he chose to go was not the right one. So, thoughts on easy chaos next week?
Boo chaos.
Hey, I was fighting words. I love me some chaos. Apex, what do you guys think?
I think it'll be fun.
It's easy chaos. What could go wrong?
Other than maybe, not finding the noodle for half an hour?
Details.
Slimes with a strength of 150?
Dragon Lord 2 with a strength of 212. Or Dragon Lord 1, I'm sorry, with a strength of 212.
Or Dragon Lord 2 with a heal spell?
That's always fun.
Or a sleep
And a
spell.
stop spell resist. Yeah, or the sleep spell. Yeah, heal or the sleep spell. And then a stop spell resist of 14 out of 16?
Well, I'm pretty sure McGrew has actually fixed that now, that if the Dragon Lord does have sleep, that his stop spell resistance, I think, can be no higher than 10 out of 16 now. I think he's fixed it. It's either highest it can be is 9 or 10 out of 16 now if the Dragon Lord does wind up with a spell. So no, that is fixed now.
See, we got nothing to worry about.
In chat. Fixed. Now it's 16 out of 16.
Ah! All right, so I'm not sure if we're going to be joined by Centroid at this point. He ducked out of IRC right away, and he hasn't joined the waiting room yet. So I'm not sure if we're actually going to be joined by Centroid tonight.
Well, I know I'd be a little bit frustrated in his position, given that, it was right there on the other side of Rimuldar. You just had to walk 10 extra steps to see Cole, and his decision to not do that pretty much cost him the race.
So I think Apex, Tristal, Nim, you guys have any final comments here on the seed before Sneaky and I kind of take us out of here?
Just thank you all for putting this on. I mean, we all run this game every day. We love it. We play it a ton. But the pageantry involved, when we get awesome commentators, a restreamer, a couple of trackers, pumping it up, we sure appreciate it. Makes for good watching. I enjoy watching the tournament more than being in it even. So thanks to you all. You guys make this thing.
I think everybody got my name right this time.
I messed it up once at the very beginning. I apologize.
Yeah, I just want to provide thanks for everybody who's helping put on the tournament. I'm looking forward to some good matches.
All right. In that
All
case,
right, so
this-
go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I was going to say, in that case, going to go ahead and wrap it up then. This is Sneaky the Lost. With me in the booth is Z. Of course, we've got Kemian Renakai and Kigalas doing the tracking, flipping those switches. Yeah, that tracker in the middle there, that's not automated. We've got a couple of people out behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the people behind the curtain, but definitely give them a shout out for doing an excellent job of keeping up with everything, especially on these Zoom seats. Keeping up with these trackers is such a difficult task. And of course, Aspernari doing the restreams even after some technical difficulties, doing an amazing job. Shout out to him as well.
So tomorrow we wind up with we have 3 races tomorrow. We're actually starting real kind of bright and early as far as the Dragon Warrior community goes. In just 12 scant hours, yes, noon Eastern time tomorrow, we have Diabetes the Second, the Seawolf 1, Velavi, and the Hangry Canuck racing at 12 p.m. Eastern time on Randomania Prime. Then a little bit later at 9 p.m. Eastern time on Randomania 2, we have DK9146, Yakko Wacko 20, Kitsanth, and Guelph 35. And then rounding out the night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time on Randomania Prime, one that I think most Dragon Warrior Randomizer fans are going to be quite interested in. Mr. Holmes, Angel FM, Ryguy 3745, and Joyzel. It's going to be quite the race coming up tomorrow night, but we do have 3 races in total tomorrow. I hope to see you all at some of those.
Absolutely. It looks like we're going to go ahead and kick this over to the Randomania channel, where I believe they've got another race already in progress.
Sounds like a plan. So I hope to see everybody tonight. Again, thank you to our wonderful restreamer, Aspernari. Thank you to our trackers, Cami and Renakai and Kigalas. I think then for Sneaky, I'm Z. Everybody have a great, fantastic night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take it easy.